Okay, so
Oh,
now we can see your complete presentation. So what exactly I will do, I will start this presentation now. I will introduce you,
uh-huh.
and then
Yes.
we can you can talk about the programs and the university what you have, and then we have a question and answer session. So we try to finish
And there will
our presentation, let's say in another 25 to 30 minutes, and then we have a 15 minutes of
yeah,
question and answer.
okay. And I have no visual, right? There's going to be no need for the camera.
No need for the camera. Yeah, no need for the camera because we can see your desktop right now.
I'm sorry.
If you want to
Thank you.
open your camera, you can open, but you know the bandwidth will be low and the voice will be start getting breaking up.
I think you're right. Thank you.
Okay, so let me start
Yep.
broadcasting, and then I will introduce you, and then I will let you know when to speak, and then you can start your conversation. So everything is virtualized. All the students and the counselors can hear you, but they cannot speak, but they can write. So I will let you know what are the questions they
All right.
have, and accordingly you can answer them in the end of the webinar.
Correct.
Okay, so let me broadcast the webinar right
Yep.
now.
Begin.
The broadcast is now starting. All attend.
Yep. Hello, everyone. This is Abhishek from the Study Metro, and hope everybody's enjoying the Friday evening in India. And we have our delegates available from the United States. So we have the today we are presenting the Youngstown State University, and we have a Dr. Igor with us, which he's a international admission officers who take care about all the international students in their universities. So today we are going to talk about the what are the programs they offered, the campus, the requirement, how many intakes they have, and what are the opportunities available for the Indian students. As you know, the Study Metro, every week we do the webinars and we invite the foreign delegates to talk about the university. And in this webinars, we will have the question and answer session. So whatever the questions you have, feel free to write it down. You can see the chat window in your right hand side. So you can write all the questions, whatever you have regarding the universities, regarding the programs, and then we will cover all your questions answer in the end of the webinar. So it's early morning in the United States. So thank you very much for Igor to join in early morning to speak with the Indian students. So I'm just handing over to him so that he can start communicating with the students.
Hello, everybody. My name is Igor Jorin, and I represent Youngstown State University. And in a few moments to follow this intro, I will share with you why Youngstown State University should be on the desk somehow as a brochure or a notion in the head while you talk to prospective candidates for recruitment to receive one of our wonderful specialties that we're training our international students here in Youngstown. It's a crisp morning in Youngstown, and on my way from home to this workstation, I have encountered actually freezing temperature and could see my breath in the air. I know that sounds very exotic to quite a few people who live in more tropical parts of the world, but this is what I saw this morning. And in Youngstown, we are located in the corner of the state of Ohio. We're kind of like a little bit below Lake Erie, which you could see on the display at the moment, I hope. And we are within a 1 hour distance between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, two megacities, and uh, for Chicago, Washington, our university. Uh, we have celebrated our 100th anniversary a while. Universities in Ohio, with the average enrollment enrollment of 12,500, but additional 2,000 more enrollees. And we seem to be bent to grow further. The student to faculty ratio allows a attention needs that is as it is the students with over 100 programs, and there are certain special we're nationally known for. An engineer school, another and ratings, and one of such universities, and we were able to find our name on the top 25% of other schools that were reviewed in the United States. Our undergraduate and graduate programs heavily focus on mechanical, chemical, civil, electrical and computer, industrial and systems engineering. I believe we probably have programs that are uniquely connected with internships and probably of interest listeners, and should be brought to the attention of the students to be that we have managed to build a cohesive unity between academic training, OPT or CPT training, and further on building the track for the is sharing the brochure view book with the organizers, and I would encourage you to maybe request that a copy of that would be sent to students, and that in its turn works very well for us in our MBA program. Again, as is the pattern, a MBA program goes hand in hand with the internships, with the CPT and OPT, and an internship coordinator would be a very unique program that has been developed in the College of STEM is the Computer Science and Information Systems program. It is very popular with the Indian students. And Indian students at this time are the second largest body of students in our university. And quite a lot of them are attending this program. Please note that we information systems and information literally cutting edge professionals with multiple and sizable grants for these programs. In the graduate programs, we specialize into computing and information systems. We are applied in focus and our workstation strategies of modern industry. Now, probably attend other presentations and hear all sorts of nice things from other universities. And a good question to ask at this time in the presentation would be our recognition. And earlier I mentioned to you our A accreditations, and this screen clearly tells you who has looked into the content of what we present to the young people actually. And you will see that we probably earned that right and are proud of these. Another very important aspect of that is that our current estimates for tuition, in conjunction with the GPA-based, merit-based scholarship, and please note both undergraduate and graduate, plus graduate assistantship, allows us to offer a very lucrative package where the recognition of the degree of the university goes hand in hand with very minimal, probably lowest in the state financial expense. I should not probably read the numbers because it's obvious, and I'm sure everybody can notice those. Here is the scale that we have prepared for the merit-based calculation on the GPA-based scholarships. And those are instituted as of fall 2017. Part of these will be functional come spring 2017, which is January. And by the way, those of you who have some hot potato in your hand to handle could throw it my way because you're still on time to apply, provided, of course, that the package is complete and needs no additional submissions. Another interesting answer to the question why YSU comes from this particular slide. Please note that we are within the driving distance from all of these sizable companies that are currently captains in modern industry here in North America. And what we are trying to stress with our students that the harder you work, the better is your performance, the closer you will be to your H-1B and further on to all other steps that you might choose to do with the help of these companies. And I'm sure that the names speak for themselves. We have to showcase here two success stories, and both come from the vicinity of the audience that I am addressing at this time. We have Salim from Nepal, whom I have admitted at one time, who went through the training, and at this time he is enjoying a pretty illustrious position of a project manager at Marujun LLC with the status of H-1B. And we have Venugopal from India, who did the master's in computer science, and by way of OPT, entered the 3S Business Corporation with the same track of H-1B. Here are our admission requirements. For the undergraduate, 45 non-refundable application fee, application online. We take 3 intakes: spring, early January, summer, mid-May, and fall, late August. The GPA requirement is 2.0 and above. The English language proficiency test scores with 5.5, with a minimum of 5 points on each subscale, or TOEFL of 61, or 500 if it's a paper-based. For the graduate, we are requesting the same application fee, official GRE score, official IELTS and TOEFL go a few bumps up. And at this time, we're performing NACE's evaluation, which is waived for approved agents. And approved agents to be approved are encouraged to start negotiating by way of email through me, and then I will lead you further to the bodies in this university that would review the proposal and would make a conclusion on that. Also, for the graduate, we require a resume, statement of intent, and 3 letters of recommendation out from the field. And with that, I'm concluding the presentation that we prepared for your attention, and I'm available for questions. Abhishek, we are ready for questions.
Yep, sure. So you can tell them that like all the students, like whatever the questions you have, you can feel free to write down here, and then
Correct.
we have couple of the questions come from the students. In the meantime, all other students, please feel free to write down here so that I can check with the delegates. So the first questions comes from I think from Rommel, that he's not able to. The voice is breaking up. So still, if you are not able to hear us, let us know, like whatever the questions you have, so that I can ask, and then I will let you know the answers. So the Kulsum asked the question about the internships, because in your slides you mentioned about the internships the students can do either CPT or OPT. So she want to know that is this CPT is available from the first semester, or students has to wait for the 1 year?
The way these options are available, and yes, the short answer is yes, they are available for all active, fully enrolled international students. The order in which these 2 options are available are CPT first, OPT second. Now, there are certain immigration-imposed limits on the durations. And what we are trying to instruct our students is don't rush to CPT or OPT unless it fits your schedule of going through the program of training, with an idea that you will fully use the allotted time for CPT and fully use the allotted time for OPT, and it would match your program, the way your program rolls. So on an average, the students begin at around the 2nd year of training. And then with the STEM, specifically STEM profession under their belt, they would be able to do that close to and following the graduation. In each case, it may be a little bit different. All the students are always satisfied with this type of service. That is why it was entered into our presentation.
Okay.
I concluded.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have the second questions comes from the student that what is the minimum requirement for the GRE for the graduate program?
We are one of these schools. That's a very good question. We are one of these schools that do not really require a minimum. I guess the program directors in vast majority of cases and programs that are otherwise offered for YSU students, these directors, they are looking on the overall file with all the incoming characteristics, letters of recommendation, statements, grades too, of course, and outside of the grades that I am keeping here on the admission requirements, there is really no other variance. You will be admitted if you pass those, and absolute minimums are not really required outside of those that are listed. Lately, I've been talking to some of my colleagues in other universities, and I discovered that quite a few universities use the same methodology. Holistically assessing the file, making sure that the person is aware what they want, having maybe a short discussion by way of email exchange, and making a decision. Welcome, come, be a part of it. I concluded.
Okay. We have another question from the student that what is the minimum GPA requirement for the MBA and MS in computer science?
Well, in MBA, they do list GMAT and GRE as a requirement, but at the same time, again, in conjunction with the decision that we're not asking for minimum, at the same time, they also offer a policy of waiver of this requirement to those candidates who have some practical experience and are able to prove that practical experience by way of their statement and by way of letters of recommendation where such practical experience could be reflected and quantified. So there is no minimum for those, and at the same time, the particular requirement of the official GRE GMAT could be waived. I concluded.
Okay, we have the Salman Ahmed, and his question is that what are the options available for the students who do the OPT after the graduation from there?
The OPT, I will, do we still show the slides? Are we still showing the slides?
Yes, we can see the slides, yes.
Okay, so I'm bringing you back to this page. So the options for OPT are all of these companies. All of these companies are within the 45-minute drive from the campus of the university. They are really in the neighborhood. We are located in that part of the United States, which was for years heavily industrialized. And OPT options to, again, engineering, mostly engineering specialties, would be found by way of this unique service of working with the specialists from each college to connect from student desk over to the workstation in the company, and also having in mind the H-1B track for the person who is at that time only in F status. And if you see my slide, you will notice that these are heavyweights. Of course, there are multiple other middle of the road type of companies that could serve as a starting point for further movement up in the career. I concluded.
Okay, we have one student. His name is Suresh, and his question is that I have experience more than 8 years. Can I get admission without IELTS in the master program?
The way, that's a very good question, by the way. The way it works with a waiver for the English language proficiency test, it's almost non-existent. And the reason being that in this university, our experiences have been such that proved to us and proved to our candidates and our students that in order to function in the system of quick information exchange, you need to tune up and build a certain level of English language proficiency. And we have reflected those in the previous slide in IELTS and in TOEFL. A lot of times people choose to replace. We have another function where you can replace with different tests, and such tests could be SATs or ACTs, especially at the undergraduate level. Having a belief that the candidate carries enough language power to not to fail in the real world of quick information exchange may be brought to the attention of the reviewing committee here in YSU, and we may review that, but most probably this will be an exception. It will not be a rule. I hope I answered that.
Yes,
I
yes,
concluded.
yes. So now let me go to the another question that from Abby. That is this mandatory for the students to have the GRE scope for the master of the public health?
Um, Master of the Public Health
Yep.
is requesting that. Yes. Is it mandatory? Again, we will probably be able to discuss that on a specific case-by-case basis. Because like I told you earlier, that the graduate school may waive this requirement. But at the same time, Master of Public Health means that the person who receives the degree will be able to run an America-based operation. And in order to be fully competent and fully aware of the potentials, they may request that and they may choose to not to. The decision is normally made in the department. And the student or the candidate to come to this university will apply through my department. Then we will assemble the whole complete package, and then we pass it on to the department. So if this candidate tells us from get-go that they are planning to request that waiver, we will timely address that with the department and give the timely reply to the candidate. I concluded. And I hope are they expressing if they understand if I give the complete answers?
Okay. The another question come from the one of our students who is from the Ghana that he has finished his education in the English medium. So can we waive IELTS TOEFL for those students who has done their education in English?
The Ghanaian applicants, as a rule, get a waiver from that requirement.
Okay. Okay. The Kulsam asked another question that what is application deadline?
Well, the deadlines for the application are listed on our website, and it's ysu.edu. And in the top right corner, there is a little search function window where the deadline for application or international application could be typed in, hit the enter, and you will have them. Those get a little bit shifted every now and then for purposes of matching the academic year, because every year begins a little bit differently date-wise. But a good way to tackle this issue is to look at the following important stages. To arrive to Youngstown State University, a person needs a visa. So in your country of origin, processing for a student visa on an average takes how much time? And we need, from that moment, we need about 1 month of prep time to process the application. So hypothetically, if we are talking about spring 2017, we are beginning on the 4th of January. Considering that December is a month which has lots of holidays and official places will probably not be operating, it would make it beginning of November would be the deadline. I hope I'm explaining it completely and giving an idea how to handle that and how to find the deadlines as they're posted.
Yeah, surely. Yep.
Right.
So we
Thank
have
you.
another student whose name is Dennis Perman, and his question is: there any particular criteria for the backlogs, or minimum or maximum? Backlog means is that if they failed in any semester here in India, can they apply to the universities?
An international student, that's another wonderful question, by the way. An international student, while attending any school in the United States, YSU including, needs to have full time enrollment, and that means 12 credit hours. So out of the 3 intakes that I discussed with you, one intake, which is summer, normally is viewed as a not really complete semester because it is shorter in duration, it is more intense in class attendance, and it is in general the time when a lot of faculty choose to have time off. So not full academic offers appear on the schedule for the academic classes to choose from. Although all of the assignments for the classes are done with the help of our advisors, and advisors are trying real hard to see to it that each student gets the full benefit of each semester. So technically speaking, spring and fall semesters are the real semesters, but onwards.
You there?
Hello?
Your voice is getting breaking up. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. Please inform me if I need to do something.
Yeah, yep. No, 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 your voice is better now. Okay. So let me go through to another
Thank
question from the Salman Ahmed, that I have already done a master from the UK. After that, I have worked 2 years, and now I would like to go for the graduate program. So still, I need to provide the IELTS scorecard.
No, this particular candidate does not need to do that.
Okay. Another question come from the student that do you accept 3 years of bachelor degree, or the all the students should have the 4 years of bachelor programs to apply in the master degree program?
Well, that's another wonderful, a lot of knowledge in the field, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you to all of you for that. So, as you have noticed in my presentation, Youngstown State University is a well-known engineering school. And engineering universities, most of engineering universities is specifically in India and in the rest of the world are 4-year schools. So this issue does not pop up too often as a challenge to our decision. on a standard approach towards what is to be an undergraduate degree. Youngstown State supports the fact that in order to find a student must complete four, would start in one school, then they would transfer their credit in another school, and that school would be a 3-year school. In this case, we put on a thinking cap, look carefully and attentively at the presented transcripts, and make a decision merit-worthy to the values of that particular case. If a student has just 3-year degree, most of the time that would not be sufficient to equate it to an undergraduate degree. At this time, we're trying to build what we call a bridging program, where a person would be originally trying to enroll into a graduate program, but will have to do some remedials prior to actual movement towards the graduate level. So all of these are on the table at this time, and my leadership is actively working with those. I have concluded.
Okay. Um, we have another question from the Abby, that can we still recruit the students for the spring intake for the UG and the graduate? Um, is there any kind of the time
Yes.
is available for us?
Uh, I would say that if they would make a complete submission by the end of this month, there is a theoretical chance to hit the spring semester.
Okay. I think the Dennis again asked the question again, that the answer on backlogs was not clear, so please clarify it. So uh, I'll just let you know that the backlog, that means again the students has passed the exams, but sometimes in the semester they have low marks, so the university asks them to reappear for those kind of subjects. So sometimes most of the international universities, they restrict themselves to have a 5 backlogs, 10 backlogs, or 15 backlogs of the students. So do you have any kind of requirement where you say that the students can go up to maximum this much backlogs only?
So a backlog in this country is understood a little bit differently.
Okay.
If we're talking about a person who is currently going through the completing eighth semester of education and submits their application based on 7 completed transcripts, this university accepts and makes a provisional admission, with the provision being that the particular person who is applying with such set of circumstances will, prior to arriving on campus, provide satisfactory and passing transcript mark sheet for semester number 8. Now, if I understood you correctly, that means that some of the grades have to be repeated due to whatever academic reason that there exists in a university. This particular university does not differentiate. We accept the final report on the mark sheet, and that report will be the one that will be reviewed. I hope I've made it clear.
Yes,
Please
yes,
ask them again.
yes, you do. And Suresh asked the question. His question is, OPT will take from which semester? So Suresh, let me clarify to you what is CPT and OPT. The OPT is optional practical training, which generally the students apply once they pass out from the program. So let's say if you are finishing
Correct.
your master degree there, after 2 years you can
Correct.
apply for your OPT, and the OPT again depend on the duration. It's like if you had finished your STEM programs in the USA,
Yeah.
then OPT can
Yes.
given to you 12 months, and there will be a 24-month extension. So altogether 3 years you
Correct.
can stay in the United States after your studies. If you are applying
Yes,
the normal programs, then there will be a 1 year OPT after your 2 years.
correct, correct, correct. All of these statements are correct and in compliance with the currently existing immigration legislation. And so the best way to separate CPT from OPT is CPT while you are running an active curriculum, OPT once the active curriculum is over, which means during class and after class. But there is also an option that a person could have hands-on experience while on campus and not in PT or OPT pattern. Most of the time, this option happens right after the first semester of enrollment expires. And what happens is this. You find in one lab an opening, and you apply for that opening, and while you are on campus, and we have quite a few labs here, and all of them are pretty active. You see the industries that we serve, so you can understand that these labs are also kind of like an extension of such businesses. And you could have 20 hours a week of meaningful employment with the condition that you are in real life environment as far as labs are concerned. And the payment is also meant to be given to the students for their services on that. That's called employment on campus. So we would say employment on campus, CPT, and OPT with all the extensions that were listed in your question. I
Okay.
concluded.
Yep, yep. So I think we covered almost all the questions, but still, if any of the students have any questions, please feel free to write down. Because I have the last question for you. You have mentioned that for the registered agents, you don't require the NSCS evaluation. So is this apply same
Correct.
for the study metro, because we already have the agreement with the your universities?
If you have an agreement with our university, that makes you an approved agent.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay,
This is a very important question, and thank you for raising it. Here is what people who are listening to this, and your company as well, should know, that when you are forwarding your documents to us, you should make the first statement that we are an approved agent for you. The volume of our application is extremely high, and we do happen every now and then drop the ball, and we apologize, of course, once that gets discovered. But in order to preclude from that, advertise who you are with the first statement, and that helps us a lot in our sorting out of the files. So please bear that in mind.
okay, okay. So I got a last two question for you. So I think we have a still time available, so we can quickly finish these questions.
Yes, please.
So the question asked
I'm
by the Abby again, that students from India who completed bachelor's in dental surgery, and now she is looking for the master in the health and human science with the GRE score of 300. But she doesn't written the TOEFL exams, but she has finished all her bachelor degree in the English medium. Is she eligible?
She will probably still have to pass a language test. This particular applicant will have to pass a language test. But let's play the devil's advocate, so to say. If the person has done all that in English medium of training, passing a English proficiency test would be a breeze. It would not be a problem. But
Okay.
I suspect that the department would probably ask for that.
Okay. So do you also offer some kind of ESL school, like for those students who have the low?
Wonderful question. I really enjoy this time that I spend in front of my workstation with you today. Of course we do. We sometimes, with a few exceptions of course, but we do encounter a situation when the person has an excellent academic track record, and unfortunately the English proficiency test is kind of like limping on both legs. So what we're trying to help, when we're trying to help this person, we're enrolling them into one of the modules of our English Language Institute, where the person spends sufficient time to tune up, beef up their English language mastery as English is used here in the United States, and secure successful attendance and successful results in the department. So we do offer that, and again, ysu.edu, in the search function, if you would look for the English Language Institute there, you will find all the nitty-gritty details on how to apply, what to do, how long will that be, what it takes. It's a very popular way of coming to Youngstown State.
Okay. So could you also let us know that what will be the tuition fees? Because there's one student, his name is Nitya, he's asking about the tuition fee. What the tuition fee offered by the undergraduate and the graduate program?
I think I'm displaying right now this slide for you. Should I read it?
Yes, like undergraduate is 14,000 and the graduate is 13,000. It's each year, right?
Annually, yes. And another thing, what you're looking at, you're familiar with the notion of community, are looking at the offer made by a state university at the level that community colleges are charging. This is why I agree that we're the most affordable university. This is a conscious effort that the leadership of this university is investing into building up the appropriate body of international students present on campus. And making affordable is one of the tools, very powerful tools. Quite a few students come to this university for transfer because they hear about us after they make a decision to attend another university that probably has more silver tongue than I have. And they then, after kind of like looking around and seeing what they have in the neighborhood, they come over here because we offer Please mention to this person who asked, do they receive? Have they received the complete information on that? Are they happy with this answer?
Yeah, I think they are. So let's do one thing. I'm just launching the poll, and where the students can rate us this webinar, how much they like it, and if they have any suggestion, they can let us know so that we can improve the webinar and we can come back again in the next month. So all the attendees, please feel free to rate us so that we knew that what did you like this webinar or not, or what are the things you want us to include in the next webinar. So that is also, you can put it in the chat line, and then we will note down, and then we will do our best to include all your feedbacks. So in the
Do I have
meantime,
a
while
chance
the
to?
students are attending this poll, I just want to say you thank you very much, because it's early morning there, and I think it was a wonderful session which we had today, where we got to know about the almost good informations about the programs, the entry requirements, and tuition fee. Do you offer the scholarships also, like whenever the students applying, especially for the Indian students, like what kind of scholarships options they have?
Do I have a chance to say thank you and
Yes,
goodbye?
sure, sure. Because the poll
Thank
is
you.
running,
I would
so I
like. Yeah, well, while they're working on the poll, I would like to say thank you very much for this opportunity. Youngstown State University is a friendly place. We have multiple other incentives for international people to come and enjoy the state of Ohio in the place where we're located. We're looking forward to a very active cooperation with you. And please don't forget to mention that we spoke on this or participated in this particular webinar, because that gives you an extra point. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Okay, so now we have the I guess the poll result with us, so that I can share with everybody. So you can see in the screen that we got 50% 10 out of 10, which is good. And then 25% we have received the 9, and 25% people they have given us, they rate us the 6. So I think the most of the people they like this webinar, but yeah, couple of some people they want us to include some more information. So we'll try our level best to increase the percentage to 10 or 9 only in the next time. So thank you very much to all the attendees, all the students, and all the counselors who joined this webinar. I knew it's Friday evening, so everybody having some plan to go out. So enjoy your weekends, happy weekends, and thank you very much, our delegates, Igor, who has joined from the United States to speak with all the Indian students.
Please stand your.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.